Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a serious issue affecting South Africa, corruption. But what does it actually mean for the everyday lives of people in this beautiful, complex nation? It means schools without books, hospitals without medicine, roads that crumble, and a trust between the people and those in power that gets thinner with every scandal. We'll be counting down the top 7 most corrupt provinces in the country. Stay tuned to find out which province tops the list. No, the goal here is to understand the scale of the problem, to see how it manifests differently in various parts of our country, and ultimately to spark a conversation about what we as citizens can do. Because knowledge is power, right? And when we understand the mechanisms, the impact, the sheer audacity of some of these schemes, maybe, just maybe, we can start to figure out how to dismantle them. So grab your rooibos, settle in, because we're about to embark on a tour that won't be featured in any tourist brochures. From the bustling heart of our economy to the quiet, rural areas, no place seems entirely immune. This is about shedding light because, as they say, sunlight is the best disinfectant. All right, let's kick things off with number 7, and we're starting in the economic powerhouse of South Africa, Gauteng. Now, you'd think with all that money flowing around, the high-rises scraping the sky in Sandton, the constant hum of industry, that things would be, well, a bit more buttoned up. But here's the thing about honeypots, they attract bears. And in Gauteng, it seems some of those bears are wearing very expensive suits and have mastered the art of navigating complex tender processes for their own benefit, not for the people they are meant to serve. The high-profile corruption cases that have emerged from Gauteng are often staggering in their scale and audacity. We're talking about deals worth billions, involving everything from public transport projects that never quite seem to get on track to essential services where the money allocated somehow vanishes into thin air, or rather into a network of well-connected pockets. Think about the impact on local governance. When officials are more focused on self-enrichment than on public service, the entire system begins to creak and groan under the weight of inefficiency and neglect. Potholes become permanent landscape features, water cuts become a daily gamble, and the faith of ordinary citizens in their elected leaders erodes with every new scandal that hits the headlines. It's a systemic issue that requires a systemic response, from the very top all the way down to the ground level. So, as we place Gauteng at number 7, it's a sobering reminder that economic vibrancy alone doesn't shield a region from the rot of corruption. The challenge for Gauteng is to harness its dynamic energy not just for economic growth, but for building a truly transparent and accountable system of governance for all its residents. All right, let's kick things off with number 7, and we're starting in the economic powerhouse of South Africa, Gauteng. Now, you'd think with all that money flowing around, the high-rises scraping the sky in Sandton, the constant hum of industry, that things would be, well, a bit more buttoned up. But here's the thing about honeypots, they attract bears. And in Gauteng, it seems some of those bears are wearing very expensive suits and have mastered the art of navigating complex tender processes for their own benefit, not for the people they are meant to serve. The high-profile corruption cases that have emerged from Gauteng are often staggering in their scale and audacity. We're talking about deals worth billions, involving everything from public transport projects that never quite seem to get on track to essential services where the money allocated somehow vanishes into thin air, or rather into a network of well-connected pockets. Think about the impact on local governance. When officials are more focused on self-enrichment than on public service, the entire system begins to creak and groan under the weight of inefficiency and neglect. Potholes become permanent landscape features, water cuts become a daily gamble, and the faith of ordinary citizens in their elected leaders erodes with every new scandal that hits the headlines. It's a systemic issue that requires a systemic response, from the very top all the way down to the ground level. So, as we place Gauteng at number 7, it's a sobering reminder that economic vibrancy alone doesn't shield a region from the rot of corruption. The challenge for Gauteng is to harness its dynamic energy not just for economic growth, but for building a truly transparent and accountable system of governance for all its residents. Moving on to number 6 on our list, we find ourselves in the lush coastal province of KwaZulu-Natal, a place of incredible natural beauty, rich history, and vibrant culture. But beneath that picturesque surface, KZN grapples with corruption in public procurement. This issue casts a long shadow over service delivery and public trust. Tenders are often awarded to unqualified companies, leading to inflated prices and shoddy workmanship. The effects on service delivery are devastating. The people of KZN deserve better. So KwaZulu-Natal sits at number 6, a province with so much potential yet hampered by a flawed procurement system. Our journey continues, and at number 5 we arrive in the Eastern Cape, a province of breathtaking landscapes and rich heritage. Yet it's tragically synonymous with the misuse of public funds, especially in education. Stories of financial mismanagement paint a grim picture. Ghost employees and wasteful expenditure are rampant. Money is spent on unnecessary projects, diverting resources. The education sector suffers the most. Schools lack proper sanitation, textbooks, and are overcrowded. Misused funds mean learners pay the ultimate price. It's a moral failure, betraying the promise of a better future. Misused funds are about lost potential and a dimmer future. The Eastern Cape is a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of corruption. Coming in at number 4 on our list is the Free State, the agricultural heartland of South Africa, known for its wide-open spaces and golden fields. But beneath this tranquil surface, the Free State has been rocked by high-profile scandals, leading to a significant erosion of public trust. The Vrede Dairy project is a notorious example, symbolizing alleged looting and high-level corruption. Funds were reportedly diverted to offshore accounts and lavish expenses. This grand corruption damages public trust. Essential services falter and promises of development go unfulfilled. The calls for accountability in the Free State have been loud and persistent. Civil society organizations, investigative journalists, and ordinary citizens demand justice. The Free State stands at number 4, where accountability is key to restoring public faith. Chapter 5, Limpopo, when healthcare becomes a casualty of corruption. At number 3, we venture north to Limpopo, a province rich in cultural heritage and biodiversity, bordering several African nations. It's a region known for its majestic baobab trees and ancient kingdoms. However, Limpopo has faced significant challenges with corruption, particularly within its healthcare services, and the impact this has on the well-being of its communities is a matter of grave concern. When the system meant to heal you is itself sick with corruption, where do people turn? The stories emerging from Limpopo's healthcare sector are deeply troubling. We hear of irregularities in the procurement of essential medical supplies and equipment, where tenders are allegedly awarded to connected companies at inflated prices or for goods that are substandard or never even delivered. This directly affects the ability of hospitals and clinics to provide adequate care to patients, many of whom are reliant on the public health system for their survival. Imagine a scenario where a rural clinic consistently runs out of basic medicines, or where critical diagnostic equipment lies broken for months on end because the funds for repairs or replacement have been mismanaged or misappropriated. This isn't just an inconvenience, it can be a matter of life and death. Patients suffer, their conditions worsen, and sometimes lives are tragically lost, not because of a lack of medical knowledge, but because of a failure in the system caused by greed and corruption. Addressing corruption in Limpopo's healthcare system requires a multi-pronged approach. It means strengthening oversight mechanisms, ensuring transparent procurement processes, and holding those responsible for wrongdoing accountable, regardless of their position or connections. So, Limpopo is at number 3, highlighting the devastating consequences when corruption infiltrates a sector as critical as healthcare. Chapter 6, Northwest, mining's riches and the shadow of illicit deals. We're nearing the top of our list, and at number 2 we find ourselves in the Northwest province. This is a region significantly endowed with mineral wealth, particularly platinum, which should ideally translate into widespread prosperity and development for its people. However, the Northwest has been plagued by allegations of corruption, especially within its lucrative mining sector, and the economic implications of this are far-reaching and deeply concerning. The mining sector is a complex beast involving vast sums of money, intricate licensing processes, and significant environmental and social considerations. This complexity, unfortunately, can also create opportunities for corruption to thrive. We hear stories of irregularities in the awarding of mining rights, of deals struck behind closed doors that benefit a select few politically connected individuals or companies, rather than ensuring that the mineral wealth benefits the broader community and the provincial economy. The economic implications of such corruption are severe. When mining deals are not transparent or are skewed by illicit payments, the province and the country can lose out on billions in potential revenue, money that could be used for schools, hospitals, infrastructure, and job creation. Furthermore, corruption in the mining sector can have devastating social and environmental consequences. The challenge for the Northwest is to ensure that its mineral wealth becomes a blessing for all its citizens, not just a source of enrichment for a privileged few. So the Northwest province sits at number 2, a stark example of how corruption can undermine the potential of a resource-rich region. Chapter 7, Mpumalanga, where infrastructure dreams turn into costly nightmares. Mpumalanga, where the sun rises, is plagued by severe corruption, especially in infrastructure projects. Despite its natural beauty, corruption casts dark clouds over its development. Major projects like power stations face delays and cost overruns. This impacts the entire country, leading to load shedding and economic disruption. Essential infrastructure is either delayed or compromised. The challenge is immense, but the need for change is urgent. Chapter 8, Turning the Tide, Our Collective Role in a Cleaner Future. So there you have it, a sobering look at 7 provinces grappling with the pervasive issue of corruption. It's clear that this isn't just a headline, it's a reality that affects every single South African, from the quality of our roads and hospitals to the education our children receive, and even the electricity that powers our homes and businesses. The cost is not just financial, it's a cost to our trust, our development, and our nation's potential. But here's the thing, while the scale can feel overwhelming, it's not hopeless. Change begins with awareness, with conversations like these, and with a collective demand for accountability and transparency. Every single one of us has a role to play in fostering a culture where corruption is not tolerated, where public service truly means serving the public. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative and maybe even a little bit activating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that aims to explore the issues that shape our world. See you next time.